Take a look at this grand, wealthy family estate. On the outside, it projects an image of perfect harmony and success. But these expensive cars and the fresh paint are a mask for a much darker reality hidden behind closed doors. Deep inside the house lives Mamta. She is the elder sister-in-law, heavily pregnant and completely isolated. While the rest of the family relaxes in the shade, Mamta is forced to do all the heavy lifting, scrubbing the floors and hauling massive tubs of laundry until her body threatens to give out. This chart shows the household's toxic power structure. The mother-in-law and husband sit at the top, directing their hostility toward Mamta. Their cruelty stems from one single fact. Mamta is expecting a baby girl, and they have decided a daughter has no value. By denying her food and forcing her into exhausting chores, the family uses systematic bullying to keep Mamta in a constant state of fear. This environment is designed to break her spirit and control her every move. The house undergoes a sudden change when two new brides, Kajal and Koil, join the family. Coming from wealthy backgrounds, they arrive expecting a life of celebration, sisterhood, and mutual respect. That illusion shatters instantly. On their very first day, they find Mamta struggling to work in the blistering afternoon sun, while the mother-in-law sits nearby, shouting orders and insults at her. The new brides now face a defining choice. Do they ignore the abuse to maintain their own comfort and status? Or do they risk their standing in the family to protect a woman they barely know? In a household like this, staying silent is its own form of participation. Choosing your own comfort while watching someone else be bullied makes you part of the very system that causes the pain. Kajal and Koil begin a quiet investigation. They watch Mamta carefully, noticing how she winces in pain and tries to hide the physical toll of carrying heavy tubs up the stairs. Eventually, the sisters corner Mamta in her room. They refuse to accept her excuses and demand to know the truth behind the family's relentless cruelty. Mamta finally breaks. She reveals that the labor is a calculated strategy. The family wants her to miscarry simply because she is carrying a girl. They are using physical exhaustion as a weapon to end her pregnancy, without leaving any direct evidence of their crime. The response from the younger sisters is immediate. Starting the next morning at 4 a.m., they take over every single household task. They force Mamta to rest, forming a physical shield around her and refusing to let her perform even the smallest chore. Breaking a cycle of abuse requires active sacrifice. By giving up their own comfort to take on the burden of the household, the sisters demonstrate that true unity is a choice that must be earned every day. The mother-in-law tries to break the sisters' resolve by doubling their workload. She forces Kajal to walk miles in the summer heat to fetch heavy groceries until she eventually collapses from heat stroke in the courtyard. As Kajal recovers, the sisters realize that polite resistance has failed. To save Mamta and her baby, they have to completely dismantle the bully's sense of authority. Realizing they cannot win a physical fight against the men, the sisters wait for morning and spike the family's milk with a heavy dose of sleep medicine. Once the mother-in-law and the husbands drift into a deep stupor, Kajal and Koil use thick ropes to bind them securely to chairs and pillars in the courtyard. When the abusers wake up, the hierarchy has been completely inverted. So the next several weeks, they are the ones forced to do the sweeping and scrubbing. Under the sisters' watchful eyes, they experience the same grueling labor they once forced onto Mamta. By forcing the bullies to live under their own harsh rules, the sisters shatter the family's assumed power. It serves as a brutal lesson in empathy that words alone could never teach. The standoff continues until Mamta suddenly goes into early labor. It's an immediate medical emergency, and every minute counts. In a final act of malice, the mother-in-law and husband hide the car keys. They are willing to let Mamta and the baby die just to regain control of the house. But Kajal and Koil refuse to give up. They spot a heavy wooden street cart outside, and with Mamta screaming in pain, they carefully lift her onto it. The two sisters begin pushing the massive cart through the streets in the midday sun. Straining under the weight, they use every ounce of their strength to sprint toward the hospital's emergency entrance. This moment proves that shared willpower can overcome even the most desperate sabotage. When women stand together for a common purpose, they become a force that cannot be stopped. A moment of wonder. The effort pays off. Doctors safely deliver a healthy baby girl. and for the first time, Mamta holds her child without fear. Justice follows quickly. Because the sisters recorded the family's threats and evidence of the forced labor, the police arrest the mother-in-law and husband. Attempting to cause a miscarriage and domestic violence are serious crimes that carry heavy prison sentences. Fast forward 6 months, the house is finally at peace. Kajal and Koil are now expecting babies of their own, and Mamta, grateful for the protection she received, now serves them with the same love they showed her. Every girl is precious, and we protect that value by standing as a collective front against unfairness. Bravery is defined by the moments we choose to stand as a shield for those who cannot stand alone. The only question left is, will you be that shield for someone else?